All right, Beth, you were live and ready to go when you're ready.
Please come to order. This is the August 4th Zoning Board of Appeals hearing. My name is Beth Mossworth. I am Vice Chair. We are going to start off the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you haven't already signed in at this front table, please do so if you're going to be speaking. Please note the emergency exits should there be an emergency. Exit out and out to the outside. If you have any cell phones or electronic devices, please put them on silent. We are going to hear the applications in order in which they were advertised. Let's call the roll for attendance. Robert Peckham is absent. Dominic Luriani.
Here.
Christian Chamberlain.
Here.
Heather Robinson.
Here.
Jesse Redlow.
Here.
Timothy Harrington.
Here.
Seated is Kevin Wilson and Eric Black. Do I have a motion for the July meeting minutes?
Madam Vice Chair, I move to approve the meeting minutes from the July 7, 2021 Zoning Board of Appeals meeting as presented.
Second.
All right, thank you. Second, good job. All right, first up, application 2021-067, Peter and Kathleen Thomas.
Madam Vice Chair, quick point of order.
Mhm.
Did we do a vote on the minutes?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. Getting a lot ahead of myself. All those in favor of the meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Carried. Thank you, Mr. Redlow. All right, once again, application 2021-067, Peter and Kathleen Thomas.
Are we doing a video thing?
Kathleen, go ahead and unmute yourself, dear. Let me see if it will let me do it for you. Hold
There
on.
we go. I think I
There-
got,
Yes, hello.
okay, hello, thanks, sorry.
Do you have anything to add to your application?
No, it's kind of plain. We put we want to put a base over the top of it's kind of a stoop that goes out the front door. And it's a little bit wider, but it was no farther out. And we needed a variance for that because it was 45 feet from the street instead of 50, I believe. But it's just, hopefully we can get it because it's always been that way. It's always been 45 feet, so.
So the intent to, is it gonna be pressure treated lumber over it?
Yes, it's, yeah, the outdoor that, like you would make a deck out of.
And the intent is to put it over the existing concrete because it's deteriorating? and sinking?
Yes. Yeah.
Anything else from members of the board? Oh, yeah. And just for the record, if you could state your name and address, please.
Kathleen Thomas, 3 Gatehouse Trail, Henrietta, New York.
Thank you. Heather, do we have anything online?
Nothing at this time.
Okay, is there anybody in the audience that wishes to speak in regards to this application? Okay.
Okay.
Motion.
Yes, Madam Vice Chair, with regard to application ZBA 2021-067 for an area variance, I move to approve as follows. Whereas the zoning board has, 1, duly advertised and held a public hearing, 2, considered all relevant information, and 3, has considered the potential benefit to the applicant versus potential detriment to the neighborhood or community in relation to such variance. Now therefore be it resolved that the zoning board of appeals makes the following findings of fact. 1, the variance will not result in an undesirable change to the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties. The existing porch is already at a 45-foot setback. This variance only changes the width of the porch that's being improved. 2, the variance cannot be achieved by some other feasible alternative. The existing cement front steps are deteriorating and sinking. Building wood on top is a cost-effective way to make the front steps and porch safe. 3, the variance request is not substantial. This is not a substantial change. 4, the variance will not have a negative effect on the physical or environmental conditions. And 5, the difficulty related to the variance was not self-created, as the existing cement is failing on its own over time. And be it further resolved that based upon the above findings, the Zoning Board of Appeals hereby approves the variance as presented.
I'll second that.
I'll give that to Heather. Second. All those approved?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Carried. Ms. Thomas, this is approved.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good night.
Enjoy.
Thanks, you too.
All right, application 2021-068, Kathleen Henrique Max.
I'm sorry. What was is there anything else I needed to do?
Oh, the next applicant is also Kathleen, dear. You're all set.
Okay, sorry.
Take care.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Hi, please
I
state your
know.
name and address, please.
Kathleen Henriquez Max.
Right, do you have anything to add to your application?
No, it's pretty straightforward. I guess that the shed that we'd like to have installed by Lowe's was a few feet over the approved, the allotment for the town. So, and they said I had to do this in order to get it, so.
Now the shed that you're proposing can you tell us what material it's gonna be made out of?
Lowe's is installing it. It's being done by them. What do you mean by wood? Wood, it's a wood
Is
shed?
it a wood siding?
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
Yes.
Is there gonna be a flooring?
the whole unit. Mhm.
Is it gonna be single story, 2 stories?
Oh, single. It's,
Single, okay.
it's single.
Do you plan on having any electricity to the shed?
Well, if he needs to, not in the shed, no. But if he uses an extension cord to go
Okay.
out that way, yeah, no, he wouldn't put any in there.
I have no further questions.
Any other questions from members of the board?
No.
Nope.
Anyone online wishing to speak on this, Ms. Heather?
I have nothing at this time.
One in the audience wishing to speak on this application? Okay. The application is closed. May I have a motion, please?
Ms. Vice Chairman, with regards to application ZBA 2021-068 for an area variance, I move to approve as follows. Whereas the zoning board has duly advertised and held public hearings, has considered all relevant information and has considered the potential benefits to the applicant versus the potential detriment to the neighborhood or community in relation to such variance. Now therefore be it resolved that the zoning board of appeals makes the following findings of fact. The variance will not result in an undesirable change to the characteristic of the neighborhood. The variance cannot be achieved by some other feasible alternative. Applicant needs the shed for more space, storage space. The variance is not substantial. The variance will not have a negative effect on the physical or environmental condition to the neighborhood, as there are other houses in the neighborhood with sheds in the back. The difficulty related to the variance was self-created, but the applicant needs additional storage space. And be it further resolved that based upon the above findings, the zoning board of appeals hereby approves the variance as presented.
Second.
Jesse? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Carried. You're approved.
Thank you.
You're all set.
What do I do?
Oh, just, you'll have to stop into the building department to apply for the app. You already have an application in?
No, she told me, I just go back
So
and
it's
put the
already
permit
on
in?
that
Is that
page.
what I do?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, I don't have to bring them anything, they'll know.
Yeah, just bring in the application for the building permit.
Okay, all right, good. Thank you very
Okay.
much. Have a good night.
Good evening.
Bye.
Thank you.
You too.
Application 2021-069, Elizabeth Lawley. Please state your name and address for the record.
Elizabeth Lawley. Oh, address to 235 Overland Trail, West Henrietta.
Thank you. Do you have anything to add to your application?
Yeah, when the house was built, it was built at a very slight angle
I
on the
noticed that, yeah.
property. We want to take the in-law extension straight back off of the garage, but the back of the garage is 9 feet 3 inches. And the front of the garage is the required 10 feet. We're going to go straight back from that. We just figured the 3 inches was a little bit of wiggle room there, but that's the reason. We can't move it over farther because it would hit the chimney.
Right, because you just need an additional 6 inches total, because it's the way it's going back. It's, I don't know why it's not square with the property line, but that's okay. As long as it, are you?
This is for my mother.
Is it your mother? Okay,
yeah.
That's what's fine. You
Yeah.
said your in-law, so
Yeah.
that's fine. It's just.
It's his in-law, but
His
my
in-law,
mother.
I don't have any other questions regarding this, actually. So,
Any other
please.
questions from members of the board?
Nope.
Are there any questions online?
Still nothing, Beth.
Anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this? Okay, this application is closed. May I have a motion?
Okay. Madam Acting Chairman, with regard to application number ZBA 2021-069 for an area variance, I move to approve as follows. Whereas the zoning board has, 1, duly advertised and held a public hearing, 2, has considered all relevant information, and 3, has considered the potential benefit to the applicant versus the potential detriment to the neighborhood or community in relation to such variances. Now therefore be resolved, the Zoning Board of Appeals makes the following findings of fact. The variance will not result in an undesirable change to the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties. If the variance is granted, the addition will not be visible from the street and will provide additional privacy for the neighboring property's backyard. The variance cannot be achieved by some other feasible alternative. The in-law suite could be modified to be narrower, but would tighten some spaces that would require accessibility in the future. The variances is not substantial. The applicant is seeking a relief of 8% of the total side setback required by town code. The variance will not have a negative effect on physical or environmental conditions. The house currently encroaches on the side setback by 4 inches due to it not being square with the property line. The addition would reduce existing side setback by an additional 6 inches. The difficulty relating to the variance was self-created as the applicant is expanding their home to include space for their in-law. And be further resolved that based upon the above findings, the Zoning Board of Appeals hereby approves the variance as presented.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Application 2021-070 Tropical Smoothie Cafe, also known as Yellow Chilies Corporation. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Jigar Gandhi and the address for our corporation is 103 Harrogate Crossing, West Henrietta, 14586. I'm here to request a second signage on that building facing Chick-fil-A for the Tropical Smoothie Cafe. We, I believe, as per the current code, it allows one sign. But we, in that plaza, all like, corner retail store have 2 signs, including like Piecraft Pizza, Smash Burger, Core Life Eatery, Nantastic also has a front sign and at the back of the building. And we are trying to, this is the first location of a smoothie in Henrietta for Tropical Smoothie Cafe. So we would like to have the visibility by having 2 signs. The requested sign combined 2, which is under like, the total allowed signage. So we are not requesting any additional square footage for the sign. Combining 2, the total square footage would be 112. And if I think the 4 feet is allowed per square foot on the frontage, so 120 square foot is allowed, and combining 2, it's 112. So we are under the allowed square foot. It's just we need a second sign. We are trying to sell smoothie between Chick-fil-A and Mission Barbecue. So additional sign would be helpful, like, selling health food and health smoothies between those 2. And yep, that is the request we are here for.
Are there any other sign options, such as I don't believe a pole sign or a pylon sign?
So we are not requesting a pole sign. There is a pylon for the plaza, which has like, everybody's sign, but considering we are only 1,000 square feet, so we may get like, maybe a little bit of space in that big pylon. So that may not be that helpful.
So given the small amount of signage you would have had on that pylon, you felt it was better on the building?
Better on the building, yes, please.
Will these signs be on 24/7 or just when the building is open?
Do you mean like some
Illuminated?
Illuminated? Yeah, it will be only in the, like, during the night time, the illuminated part. Yeah.
And did you look at how this sign, the signage to the east and to the north, are you looking to capture the best way to advertise the location? You said this is the first one in the area?
Yeah, first one in the area, correct. Yeah, even in Rochester, there is no Tropical Smoothie Cafe location in Rochester. It's one of the fastest growing franchise selling health food and health smoothies. So it would be, yeah, it's a good concept. But first one in Rochester.
Other questions from members of the board?
No.
Are there any questions online?
Nothing at this time.
Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in regards to this application? Okay, this application is closed. So since this one was mine, do we need to go into discussion or?
No. So,
Okay. To myself, in regards to application ZBA 2021-070 for an area variance, I move to approve as follows. Whereas the zoning board has 1, duly advertised and held a public hearing, 2, is considered all relevant information, and 3, is considered the potential benefit to the applicant versus the potential detriment to the neighborhood or community in relation to such variance. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the zoning board of appeals makes the following findings of fact. The variance will not result in an undesirable change to the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties, as the area is largely commercial. The variance cannot be achieved by some other feasible alternative. Pole sign would have been too small. Pylon sign would have been too small. The variance is not substantial. Signage is consistent with other signs in area and only 112 square foot total. The variance will not have a negative effect on the physical or environmental conditions. The difficulty relating to the variance was self-created. The area is heavily traveled and adequate signage is needed for the new business. And be it further resolved that based upon the above findings, the zoning board of appeals hereby approve the variance as presented.
Second.
Seconded by Jesse. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Aye. Motion's carried.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good evening.
Okay, application 2021-071 Jeff Wally.
That's it. Jeff Whaley.
Wheelie, sorry
Jeff
about
Whaley.
that.
That's okay.
Just state your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. Jeff Whaley at 60 Harrogate Crossing.
Thank you.
Mr. Whaley, you are requesting both a 50-foot wide garage, whereas 35-foot wide is allowed under town code, as well as a 56-foot depth garage as well, whereas 30-foot is allowed by code. Can you state the purpose for the widening and increasing the depth of the garage?
Yes. So my uncle had passed away, and he had left me a 1966 Harley trike. I went to Kansas. I picked it up. I don't have anywhere to keep it. My father, I inherited a 1970 Oldsmobile Cutlass. That's at a friend's house right now because I don't have anywhere to store it. Really, I need space to kind of keep these items and keep them up, keep them upkeep. I don't want to sell them because of the kind of sentimental value to them. And, the car is at my friend's house just basically because my kids have already put some dings in it and, a car like that, just, it's tough. So, also, I used to race motocross. I'm still into that. My kids are slowly getting into that as well. So having space for these items and not, throwing them into a garage or having to keep something outside. I really don't want my yard to look, I want my yard clean. I'm big on cleanliness, organization, and I just, from the outside, I don't believe anybody driving past my house needs to say like, oh my God, look at that stuff sitting outside. It's, that really kind of bothers me. But, I actually drew a small like drawing of how I would actually use the space, because I know, I'm asking for 6 foot to the back and 15 to the side, and it's a lot of garage space. But it gets eaten up pretty quick, as you start putting stuff in there, your tools, your cars, your bikes, all that stuff. So, I'm really looking to just be as organized as possible and, keep my yard, looking representable, to the neighborhood.
So you got a lot of stuff, a lot of garage. This is a great big garage though. How did you calculate this size that you thought that you needed, and had you considered getting by with less of a variance request?
I have. I've actually thought on this for about 2 years back and forth. Basically, this might sound a little crazy to some, but when you have kids and you have about 30 minutes to go out and do something for yourself in the garage, and you have to spend an hour moving something, it's gone. And things tend to, not get maintained or nothing seems to get done. So basically, I came to the conclusion because I went out, it's about 18 in the front, and I don't know if you guys got it in front of you there, and you can see how it's diagonal. That goes right to the setback. So I don't want to go over the setback because it's, I don't want the houses to be too close together. Also as far as the driveway is concerned. So, I actually talked to Kevin about this when I was in, and the driveway itself, the idea for that is to not do any more than necessary for this. I don't want to go for a variance. What's at the road is perfectly fine. I don't need to go any bigger than that. And really just kind of would sweep over enough to get a vehicle in and out of the garage and nothing more. But really, I came to answer your question really is to, be able to go out there and have like an organized space and not have a not have to move a bunch of stuff and, I'm not sure. I hope you guys feel me on that one.
So, Mr. Whaley, so you mentioned you have one of your vehicles stored at a friend's house right now.
I do.
And
Yeah.
on your application, you list a lot of stuff that you have, which makes sense. I have a lot of nieces and nephews. I understand what you're talking about with kids' toys and scooters and blah,
Oh
blah,
my
blah.
God, my garage is full.
But where are you storing everything else then? Your motorcycles, your dirt bikes, where's everything right now?
My dirt bikes are at my parents' house. I'm all over the place. So my
Okay.
dirt bikes are at my parents'. My car is at a friend's house. My motorcycle and my trike are in a shed. And the rest of it is kids' stuff and tools, parking space for my wife.
So you're really looking to consolidate
Big
with this
time.
variance?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, put it all together, get it organized. I think that would be, it's really the way to go. Selling the car and the trike especially would be a hard thing to do, I can't entertain that thought, at least not right now.
So the additional space, there's a garage door on that. Is that just going to be grass outside of that then?
No, I would bring the driveway, the idea is to bring the driveway over just enough to catch that, so I could pull my car in and out of there.
So will the addition be open to the existing that's there now? Will there be an opening in there?
Yes, so I would open it up there. There is a little bit of a wall. Well, there's a 4-foot opening from the existing 2-car that goes to the existing third space.
Okay.
I would leave that 4-foot opening and that wall there. I built just a barn door, sliding barn door put up.
Okay.
That divides that space off, and I would keep that as is.
And then the addition, that'll be open up to, or is that just? gonna-
Yes, I would like to open that up, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
You had mentioned that your wife parks in the garage.
Yeah, I'd like to get her in there, yeah.
Okay. Is it possible to shorten, or because you have the 50 feet, to make the space smaller and not have her park inside?
Would you like to say something to that? I'm sorry. No, I really got to get her in the garage. It comes down to bad weather and wintertime, getting the kids in and out of the car. Undoing it's really a safety, as far as I'm concerned, it's a safety thing. I try to keep the driveway clean, but when it comes down to it and, time may permit, but, getting the driveway cleaned out right away, it'd be nice to have her vehicle inside so we can get the kids in and out of the vehicle without having to deal with that.
Does anybody else have any additional questions?
I'm set.
Nope.
So this addition is going to add living space to the second story too?
It would, yes. Yep,
So
that's the
just
plan.
the space that's over that third part of the garage existing?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then it would kind of taper down to just be that single story for that 1 car plus storage side?
Yes, yeah. So, and the idea there is it makes the house look proportional. Instead of having just the single story, like the addition of the garage come way out. So there's 2 things I did there when thinking about this. One was having the second story come out so it looks proportional on the width, but also setting the front of the addition back, of the garage addition, setting it back. So as you round the corner, it's not this, like, oh my God, look at how long that house is. It's set back, and really you wouldn't even be able to see it until you're just about past the house. It'd be great to ask for, even deeper garage in the front, but it doesn't make sense I don't think it makes sense from the point of, how it would look and fit in with the neighborhood and stuff. So,
Now, you said you had kind of drawn your own schematic of how you were gonna lay that all out. Are your dirt bikes like on a trailer for you to move them about?
no, they would just be on stands in the garage.
Okay, but like if you took them anywhere to, I mean, I don't know how big these surplus are.
Oh, yeah, I could just put them in the back of my truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
But does that, the space that you have, does that accommodate any future trailer need that you might have as the bikes get bigger? If they,
Yeah, it actually, so a small trailer, maybe like a 6x12 or something. And, yeah, I'd actually thought of, maybe putting a bit taller door on that side so I could back a trailer in. Keep that off the driveway as well.
so is this addition, the garage addition that you're asking for, is that where you're keeping the classic car and the trike?
Yes.
So that
Yes.
kind of separates it away from,
Separates it away from the kid stuff. So we would utilize the 2-car existing for that stuff. Keep that barn door there. I can close that. Kind of keep it shut off from the kids and the madness.
so that would open up that third part of your garage, that existing third part for storage of kids' items, so that you can put, I'm assuming 2 cars in the 2-car part?
I'll park outside. I'm okay with that. Really, it would be kids' stuff and my wife's car and the 2-car. And then it would be my tools, my bikes, my car and stuff within that other section of the garage. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope I answered that. Wait.
Any other questions from members of the board?
Is it a door you're putting in on the addition on the second story?
I think that's a window.
That's a window in the
Oh,
drawing?
yes, yeah, that's a window. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I drew that in there to make sure I would get proper size.
Heather, is there any questions online?
Still nothing.
I'm going to assume the audience may not have any further questions in regards to this, but.
I'm
his neighbor.
I did bring my neighbor who lives immediately next to me.
Have you signed in? Did you want to come up and
I can
give?
sign in just in case I was.
Yeah, come on up and you can give your stamp of approval or decline.
Oh, I approve it.
All right, so may I just have your name and address for the record? please?
Sure. Robin Leone, and I'm at 66 Harrogate Crossing, right next door to Jeff and Nikki. I've been their neighbor for 12 years. Everything he does is impeccable. So I am not concerned with this expansion or anything. So
Are you on the side of where the expansion is?
yes, I am.
So you would be the one seeing all?
Yes, I would.
Okay,
And I'm very excited about it
thank you.
because I see what they have over there. So I know he needs the space. So yeah, I'm totally fine with it.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. This application is closed. May I have a motion, please? Or do you need time? Time? No, I'm good. I can't. Okay. So does anybody want to take it? If they want the opposite.
I can take it.
You want to take it?
I mean, I'll need time to write it if you want to table it and come back, or do you
Yeah.
want?
That'll work. Okay. The next one is yours anyways, Tracy.
Oh, all right, perfect. I get myself into more crap.
So we're going to come back to this one
Okay.
as we're writing out. Okay, we're going to move on to application 2021-073, 72, 74, and 75.
73, 4, and 5.
70,
3, 4, and 5.
oh yeah, sorry,
Did I say
73,
83?
4, and 5. For Maurice Stewart.
For this one,
Yeah, for yours.
go for it. I already have it written, so.
Yeah.
Take it.
Heather, are they online?
Yes, this is Robert Schwartz. I'm appearing for Mr. Stewart, and something's wrong with my video, but I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Yes.
Great.
Can you state your name and address for the record?
Yes, Robert Schwartz, 2468 East Henrietta Road, Rochester, 14623.
All right, perfect.
Thank you. Do you have anything to add to this application?
No,
Well, I guess I could state that there are 3 variances, so there's a separate application for each. The first one, we're just asking that the lot in question, which is 0.19 acres, it's a legal lot, there used to be a house on it and a 4-car garage. We're seeking to increase it in size, but it will still be less than the current code requires. But there was a house there before. We're seeking to increase it so that a house can be built on that lot. The second application has to do with the side setback because there's an existing driveway turnaround on 6630 West Henrietta Road. That turnaround actually encroaches on 6618. So what we are doing is we're eliminating the encroachment, but there won't be, the side setback will be 0. Right now, it's probably -5 feet. It's over the line. So we're seeking to correct that. And the third application is regarding the house that has the lot that has the house on it at 6630 West Henrietta. That's going to be slightly decreased in size because some of that land is going to the neighboring lot, which is a very, it's a strange shaped lot, 6618. But the 2 lots will be more uniform. The frontage for 6630 will actually be increased, and they'll just be more uniform front and back. I mean, I think there used to be I don't know what the house looked like when it was at 6618, but it must have just, been kind of jammed in there. There was a house and a 4-car garage. He's not going to be building anything like that on 6618.
Okay. Which side of the lot, the new lot for the 6618, will the garage be for the driveway? Will it be on the same side as this other home that's there?
I'm not really sure. I did not ask Mr. Stewart that question. I mean, I'm thinking it will probably be on the north side of the property away from the existing house, but I can't speak for that for sure.
But with that change of the lot lines, that will then essentially create the 0 lot line for the driveway turnaround?
Correct. Right now, that driveway encroaches,
Right.
or the turnaround encroaches.
Turn around.
But as part of the division, that'll just put it at 0 lot line.
Correct, yes.
Any other questions?
Mhm.
Do not have any.
All right.
We discussed the possibility of eliminating the turnaround, but he really doesn't want to do that just because of safety to not have to back out onto West Henrietta Road.
Right. Almost every house on here is a turnaround.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all do.
Heather, do we have anybody on the online community?
Still nothing.
Anybody in the audience wishing to speak on this application? No other questions? This application is closed.
Okay, Madam Vice Chair, with regard to application numbers ZBA 2021-073, 074, and 075 for area variances, I move to approve as follows. Whereas the zoning board has 1, duly advertised and held a public hearing, 2, has considered all relevant information, and 3, has considered the potential benefit to the applicant versus the potential detriment to the neighborhood or community in relation to such variances. Now therefore be it resolved that the Zoning Board of Appeals makes the following findings of fact. The variances will not result in an undesirable change to the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties, as the increase of lot size proposed by the applicant is a better fit for the neighborhood. The variances cannot be achieved by some other feasible alternative, The variances requested are substantial, but are logically justified by the applicant. The variances will not have a negative effect on physical or environmental conditions, as the land has already been cleared for construction, so there is no negative effect on green space. The difficulty relating to the variances was self-created, and be it further resolved that based upon the above findings, the Zoning Board of Appeals hereby approves the variances as presented.
A second.
All those in favors?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
And we'll just let Jesse finish up to go back to the one outstanding application.
Really, now you want to update my keyboard? Technical difficulties, bear with me.
Is it not reloading for you, Jesse?
It just kicked back on. I should be okay, but
Okay.
I'll let you know. We're learning as we go.
Looks like 68's got 1, 2, 3, right?
I don't see that. That's weird.
I have
What if
two
there's
for
what if there's a
68.
refresh problem. I have 2 for 68.
I have two for 68.
That's weird. That is really weird. Where's the refresh button?
Forgive us, this is our first time with
Came
these.
back in, so I left. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Wait, where's the?
Are you saying I have lots of fun surprises in the file here, guys?
Yeah.
Well, we'll learn as we go. We'll see if this method works.
I just got out and then back.
Oh, I did that actually.
So I'm taking a look at the back end. So Tim, the one you did at the beginning, I have everything saved, all the highlights, everything's in here that I can see. And I only have one version. Is that what you're seeing?
Yes, because I did it properly.
It was quite the burn.
Did not get saved, my resolution?
A couple of them are duped now, duplicate files. What are you showing for 615 Erie Station Road, Heather?
I am now actually seeing two separate files in here. One is not synced.
Don't you just have to download them and then save?
It shouldn't even have to download. You literally would like just back arrow and it's supposed to save as it is. Let me see which version.
Saved.
I don't have anything in that one.
Yeah, 68. The first one has highlights but no text in it. I'm gonna stop pushing.
Approve.
We cannot open the file.
Yeah, 68, I have text and highlights on my end.
That whenever you want to roll.
You have paper,
Okay.
don't we?
All right. In regards to application 2021-071 and 072, do I have a motion?
Yes, Madam Vice Chair, with regard to application number ZBA 2021-071 and 072 for area variances, I move to approve as follows. Whereas the zoning board has, 1, duly advertised and held a public hearing, 2, has considered all relevant information, and 3, has considered the potential benefit to the applicant versus the potential detriment to the neighborhood or community in relation to such variances. Now therefore be it resolved that the zoning board of appeals makes the following findings of fact. The variances will not result in an undesirable change to the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties, as other properties have larger garages. The variances cannot be achieved by some other feasible alternative, as other options will not meet the applicant's current and future storage needs. The variances requested are substantial, but the applicant has logically justified the variances. The variances will not have a negative effect on physical or environmental conditions. The difficulty relating to the variances was self-created as the applicant created the need for more storage. And be it further resolved that based upon the above findings, the zoning board of appeals hereby approves the variances as presented.
Second.
Thank you, John. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Opposed. Noted. This application is approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I much appreciate that.
Okay. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Enjoy it.
With everything.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion for
7:45.
the meeting?
Call a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. The meeting at 7:45.
All right, I had 3 motions. Who wants to take it?
Sure we make.
I will, Heather.
Don't need them.
Pretty sure we need to have a little bit more on that, Heather.
Eric said we don't need one, so.
Let's make sure Bob knows that. we
Good thing
did
I already hit the
45 minutes.
gavel.
Yep. Meeting over.
I think that's safe. Oh, maybe not. Heather can sort it.